Nice. Oh, there they are. There they are. Look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Blackhawks. All unmarked. Hi everybody, it's Steve Olson, WSO reporter. It is Monday, June 27th, 2016. I just returned from a camping survival trip for the last couple of days, honing my survival skills, honing my ability to build fires and, basic survival skills with my youngest son and a couple of his friends this weekend. So I've been out, but for good purpose. And I had a little post on my channel announcement that said I would be working on the farm as well, which I did. But however, that's a cover story because I don't usually leave the farm, and I don't like to leave the farm unattended. So I don't like outsiders to know when I'm gone. That's why I didn't say anything about the canoe trip except for a few friends that have my back. So anyway, I'm back. Everything's cool. I want to make sure that you all know that I'm fine. Everything has, like I said, we had a great weekend. However, there's a lot of ominous stuff that was happening right before I left. The British exit from the EU, which was pretty stunning, the 700-point stock market drop, the turmoil, the chaos, and all that was being promised about this the British exit. And then I only come to find out on Monday that the damage wasn't as bad as they said it would be. It never is. And then number two, what we found out was there was a big influx of commerce into Britain right away because of the currency arbitrage. And what happened was Britain and their workers benefited greatly because people were buying British goods and services at a very record rate over the weekend, influxing a bunch of money into their economy. So like Iceland, who stood up to their corrupt government, and now the British are standing up to their corrupt government. Hopefully we'll stand up to our corrupt government soon too. But you see that the result in Iceland was a people that was empowered and a country that is moving forward and now is the best place to do business in the world. And then number two, you've got Britain now, which is going to have to adjust certainly from this situation, is in a much better place to survive, in a much better place to coordinate their own emergency efforts, public safety efforts, things like that, for what they know is a coming cataclysm. Now, the thing that I have up here right now is this story just from the American Mirror, and what we see is these, again, now we're starting to photograph military vehicles being seen all over the United States, mostly in the West Coast. I'm going to show you a little clip where 8 Black Hawk helicopters unmarked flew over my house towards Chicago. So all this movement of military equipment over the United States is definitely starting to cause some concern. So here's the story. What were the United Nations vehicles doing in Virginia on Friday? That's what motorists were left to wonder when they saw UN tactical vehicles with bulletproof glass on a flatbed truck rolling down Interstate 81. Now certainly this could be a contractor that's manufacturing these vehicles for UN contract and delivering them. That is absolutely a possibility. So you don't want to get too wound up about this, but it's in the context of all the other military equipment movement that we've seen in the last 2 weeks across the United States, as told by subscribers and as witnessed by me personally with these massive military movements. You typically do not see for example, 8 Black Hawk helicopters flying formation on a Tuesday. That's just not normal. National Guard drills, you'll see a couple, you'll see them flying in formation, and you'll see different things happening, but usually those are on weekends because that's when they have the National Guard drills and they're exercising the troops. In this case, 8 Black Hawk helicopters flying over my house on a weekday is not normal, nor is it normal to see UN vehicles on a Virginia interstate road, or the thousands of Bradley fighting vehicles and other vehicles that have been going out west. So we see all of this kind of government preparation, and I think that it's worthy of us to take note. And again, it's just this feeling right now, things are starting to heat up, and I think this is just another sign of that. Sorry for my diatribe, hopefully you enjoyed it. Alright, we've seen this particular manifestation before, but check out the Fort Lauderdale by the Sea Cam, June 26, 2016, 0700 to 0710. This took a lot of work by the subscriber because they actually had to do screenshots themselves, but here, check it out. So what happens? A big, huge orb seems to prominently go above the sun, and we even see some definition and maybe like some kind of a crater in it or something like that. But check that out. That is just unbelievable catch by my good friend, who also has a wonderful little doggy. But then she also added a couple of, where we changed it just a little bit to get a clearer picture of the image behind it. But guys, look at this. This is from Fort Lauderdale yesterday morning. And I did notice that the sun set with a weird hue last night, but I didn't have a camera or anything to observe with. Many subscribers have been sending in pictures from yesterday, which have been amazing, though. So very good stuff, guys. Very good stuff. So here's an interesting series of corroborating photos from that last time lapse. First one from Cumberland Head Observatory in Plattsburgh, New York, where we're seeing an object that seems to have lights on the bottom and then desolate on the top. It looks very strange. It looks like a planet. It's very strange. Then, additionally, we've got an interesting corroboration from the balloon footage that we had that Roy helped us with, and continues to help us with. And it shows also, Roy goes through and shows some more corroborating evidence from the All Sky Cam from Leela Christian Observatory in Sullivan, Illinois. So we continue to get these corroborating photos of the big red object with the orb in it, like all the time. And then here's even more of a close-up of this phenomenon from the New York camera. It's just amazing footage. Unbelievable. Unbelievable corroboration. Now I'm going to leave the link for this below, but this is the time lapse that I showed a couple weeks ago from one of the FAA cameras, or one of the Australian cameras. I'll leave the link, but check this out. Now, the reason I wanted to pull this one back up again was because it shows the same refraction or reflection of the orb that we just looked at from Roy's photography. Now watch as this large orb opens up. Of course we see this little yellow orb, but I'm talking about this large orb from behind the sun. Check out the hole, the corroborating hole comes out from behind the sun in this time lapse. Again, this is something we showed before, but I just think it's an interesting corroboration. Okay, so this is an image from one of the subscribers who has a telescope. He's an amateur astronomer. So with a telescope and phone camera mounted on the telescope pointing now northeast right at the moon. The location is south of Cincinnati. Everyone says southwest, but I see this in the northeast. Amateur astronomer at work. So where are all these people that are using telescopes to watch? It kind of blanks me off that you don't get more pictures like this. I have plenty more, but these are very interesting. By the way, it was hard to capture these pics because they were right next to the moon. Keep up the faith. Glory be to Yeshua. So here's the first image that he said that he captured. And again, this is reminiscent of that multicolored orb that we catch all over the world. And then here's an image right here of a green object with definition and some pitting on it. And then this image shows an orb, an orangish orb. This looks like the big orb, little orb that we've been talking about since January. So let's close in on these a little bit and just see what we got. Oh, we've got some texture there, and pretty interesting texture on both of the bodies. Again, this is from an amateur astronomer using a telescope and a camera mounted to the telescope. And then here's the one that he got of something right behind the moon, and you can see the outside or the outside part of the telescopic lens. So yeah, amateur astronomers, right? Man, I just had to pull this one out and read the email that came with it, because this is just further corroboration of this object over the sun that we saw from Fort Lauderdale. This is actually from Maine. Hi Steve, I follow your channel and really appreciate your hard work. Figured since we are on vacation in Maine this week, I'd get some early sunrise pics. The pic below was taken at 4:15 a.m. That's this picture right here. 1 hour before sunrise. I thought it was strange that it would be this bright an hour before and so red. The day was beautiful, no rain, so red skies in the morning, sailors take warning, surely did not apply today. It also seemed that the sun rose very much north, not sure if this is normal. It just corroborates all the things we've been talking about. So I thought I wanted just to pull this one out and show it. Now I don't even know where to start with this. I froze it on this from today, the 27th, a couple hours ago, and I just wanted to freeze it on these frames. This is the weirdest looking set of shots I've seen from the moon glow. I mean, I see a lot of stuff from moon glow, but let's zoom in a little bit on this and try to get a closer look at what we're seeing here in this camera. And again, this is footage that I just left up. It goes in a loop and it will just stay on your browser until you tell it to go away. The first thing I want to notice is this green orb. Notice how it's kind of a flaring kind of odd thing here when you look on the camera. But down here, it looks like it's going behind the horizon. But, you know, again, I'll take that or leave it. But look at all the weird stuff going on around the sun. Now, here's what's interesting. Check this out. See how this is kind of like emanating like a wave, like in a pool? Blee, 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 blee. It goes out, and then we got this blue orb over here. We got this orb over here. This is kind of a credible orb because it reminds me of that multicolored orb that we see all the time, planet or whatever it is. And then here's kind of the side view of the same thing again. See this fixed object here sitting by the sun. Pretty snazzy stuff. Man, it's got me thinking right now how things are getting close. Okay, so just a few final notes. I showed a couple of pictures and a couple of things. It's like I have hundreds and hundreds of pictures that I got over the last couple of days when I was doing the camping trip. So what I would say is I think I'm just going to put a video together where I'm just going to go through all the photos that I've gotten over the last couple of days and just put that out there in the next 24 hours or so. But there's really some important information I need to share with you, okay? So number one, our groups are going very well, and we have over 200 leaders now. So if you want to be a leader or join a group, there's two separate emails for WSO now. The first one is group-oriented, like I want to be part of a group, I want to join a local group. You would email to WSOWorldWide@nibiru.px.com. Number two, if you are sending pictures, testimonies, or other input for the channel, send those to olson.steven.d@gmail.com. I just wanted to make sure that you knew the difference of those two emails so that you send your questions to the right place or send your comments or whatever and that kind of thing. So until tomorrow, we have a lot of stuff coming up in this week.